money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some.
But you live to trade another day, live to make another
Is
play.
it the bottom yet? I'm trying to buy up everything. Not gonna get upset, just pull the trigger, let it bang. When I see a trade, I'm hopping in like a Uber to secure my future. Up early just like a rooster. Eyes glued to the computer, looking for a bag or two. Market cipher on the screen, compliments of trading view. Now I know what I'ma do. Buy low and sell high. Even if you try and fail, at least you didn't fail to try. I don't wanna be the type of guy that let fear win. I'm the one that dive in head first and bust my chin. I know FOMO is a no-no, but I still get it in. Now I can't predict the future, but I know I'm bound to win. Later or sooner, I'll be the big kahuna. Cause I got big kahunas. I was not scared to get money, I took me some chances and now I'm the big kahuna. And if you scared, might as well get neuter. I'ma keep chasing my dreams. Wake up and mansion so big, I need a segue to get from wing to wing. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some.
But you live to trade another day, live to make another
Don't be scared, G. Like paid in full, get your bread, B. Cold wallet full of crypto, yeah, Big Lebowski. Can't forget to tip the waitress. Fur and loathing in Las Vegas. Tupac told us about the changes. People hating on your greatness. Mansion looking hella spacious. Shoes, they ain't got no laces. This the Aquarius age. Life happen in different phases. Out with money, in with crypto, analog to digital. Could've been rich, but you was scared. What a imbecile. Say you want a miracle, but you bet the minimal. Should've bet it all. Hell no, not the unthinkable. Grow some balls if you got a pair. Man, I double dare you to put it all in the market. No sir, I'm not trying to scare you. Seeking and searching, I need some more money. AI is scary, make us look like dummies. Serious about profit, I need it, I'm hungry. My music all over, but I'm from the country. Bank account thicker than Manuka honey. Got multiple wallets, don't go in my pocket. Either's a favorite, but I don't discriminate. Scared to get money, get the hell up out my face. You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day,
live to make another play.
Win some,
another day,
you lose some.
Another play, live to trade another day, live to make another play.
Win some,
another day,
you lose some.
Another play, live to trade another, live to trade another day.
Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money.
Oh my gosh.
Scared money don't make no
That was
money.
funny. I was locked from, it was like I was frozen in time, guys. I was frozen in time. I know, this song is so good, isn't it? I know, Headband was like, I missed that song. I missed that Scared Money song. I know, it's a great intro, right? Shout out to Crown Chakra. Got to give a shout out to Crown Chakra for providing that banger. And it was featuring Crypto Face. He said, for some reason, if the charts change and I'm the biggest bear out there, so be it. So I love that. All right, guys. So let's get just straight into it. We are, oh gosh, we're basically just, oh, okay. We are a few $100 away from passing our evaluation for breakout prop, and we thought we were going to pass it last night. We probably could have if we were being a little bit more aggressive. We could have closed all of the trades last night. So if you guys were watching the live stream last night, excuse us, we were watching this volatility. And we took a little bit of a pullback. We hit some stop losses, and the stop losses were in profit, so we were able to, build up the equity in the account. The goal is to get the equity to 5,500. We're currently at 5,273, and we're currently $162 in profit. We traded specific coins. We traded Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and Fartcoin. And so we actually had, I think, a really, really bullish market open. And it was due to actually the stock market having a super bullish pre-market open. And the pre-market was looking really, really bullish for the stock market, especially for the SPY futures and also the S&P 500. The pre-market was actually pretty bullish. So if you look in the past 45 minutes, we definitely had a nice big push up. The NASDAQ overall is getting a nice bounce off of the 20 SMA or the 20 EMA. And this is looking really good. The stock market itself and also the S&P 500 the S&P 500 is actually eyeing this all-time high. I think because we got that pullback, we had a nice pullback to 6,500. Now we're going to go into quarter four, and quarter four is where we're going to have hopefully a little bit more tightening from the Fed. The interest rates are going to be just basically. Quarter four is the setup for easing in Q1 and 2 of 2026. And so this is where we actually need to have our eyes on the prize. It's not really this year. Like this year, we might probably be able to still take some profits. I think some of our altcoins probably will see some massive gains. Like for instance, ticker Bitcoin is something recently that really just took off yesterday, and it went up. And over the past couple days, it really has just done very well. It's tested into some levels that we were looking at to pinch into the 10 cents and 11 cents resistance. We actually went right into that resistance at 11 cents, and we had a nice healthy pullback. And if we can continue that momentum, and risk is on, and things that are connected to NFT projects also as well. You got to think about the whole kind of ecosystem and market share of why certain tokens would be bullish. But then you think risk on is pretty much the name of the game right now. No one really wants to be all in cash or holding dollars. No one wants to be in less risky stuff. We want to be in more risk because we know it's actually it's riskier to not be investing right now. So it's actually more risky, and you're actually more at risk of losing more of your money if you don't invest. So if you are not on an investment plan of some sort and just trying to build your wealth and make your money work for you, then you are losing money over time. Every day you're hemorrhaging money if you're not saving it, because you're already hemorrhaging it because you have to pay bills. So it has to go to all that. That's just goes right down the toilet. But when it comes to monetary debasement and then that type of inflation with monetary debasement, then the dollar's getting weaker and then things are getting more expensive. So, and it doesn't equate to how much you've been getting paid for the services that you're providing with your job. You might have gotten a little bit of a raise, but not enough to equate to catch up with the amount that things have gone up, because prices have gone up double, triple. So inflation is not 2%. They're lying. They've been lying to us for years. They've been lying to us for a long time about everything. They're lying to us about all the Charlie Kirk stuff. They're lying to us about everything. The jobs. They're lying to us about everything. So what's the answer? The answer is crypto, because the only way that we're going to be able to battle this stuff and be able to comfortably live in the future and in the present, we're going to need to have more money. That is the answer. We need more money. And then at the same time, you're being a good person. You're developing yourself. You're trying to be, the best version of yourself. You naturally will attract more money being the best version of yourself. But then when you have more money, you have more influence. People listen to you. It's It's just the fact. You can't, and poor people don't like hearing that because it breaks their paradigm in the story that they've told themselves. And it's just a fact. It's all perception. When someone has more money, they seem smarter because they were able to become rich, and you're gonna listen to them. It's just a fact. But you are going to be able to have more influence, and then top it off. If you're a good person and you actually have good morals and you're rich, you are unstoppable, you know. And then that is what we can do here. So crypto is one of those places where you could do that the fastest. There's no other ecosystem where you really could do it on hyperdrive, where it could take you 10 years to do it somewhere else. It can take you 3 to 4 in crypto. But it doesn't come without its volatility. It's not get rich quick, but it does give a flame. Like Starship Elon type of flame. So that's what we need to be channeling, and we just need to remember that. We need to remember that. Okay, so let's we're gonna really keep on track here. Where's our tab? There it is. Did we hit our stop losses? Did we hit a stop loss or a take profit? What did we hit? Oh, did we hit a take profit on Fartcoin? Oh, we did. Okay. All right, but we're good. Our equity's good. We're still running. Okay, Doge is finally running. Okay, Doge is giving us the jump. Sorry guys, you're gonna be watching these trades with me live because we are in the process of trying to pass this prop fund. You guys have probably seen me. You've seen me or remember me doing this, and we did pass it. And it's really tough when you pass a prop fund and you know you can do it. You're able to do it. You've proven to yourself that you can do it. And then if you end up blowing up one of the accounts that you got approved for, you're like, what just happened? I proved to myself that I can do it, and then I proved to myself that I'm an idiot. What do I do here? Do you give up? Do you continue? Do you know, I don't know. Do you try again? What would you do? What would you do? Because I tell myself all the time that I'm not a quitter, because I've had moments where I told myself that I was a loser. You're ridiculous. You're an idiot. Calling myself names. I mean, if you had a camera feed, live feed, in some of the car rides that I had by myself, you probably would have nightmares. You'd be like, that guy turned into a demon and was literally kicking his own ass inside of a car, driving 90 miles an hour. You would be like, he's insane. But I digress. You don't give up. You keep going. You're going to hit some points where you're just like, you're probably going to be like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar when he's in the bathroom. Remember that scene where he's in the bathroom and he's like he's just beating himself up, and the guy walks in the bathroom and he's like, what are you doing? and Jim Carrey's like, I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind? That scene was just ridiculous. But that's how it can feel sometimes when you're going through some of the motions. It can be atrocious. What is happening here? Man, the market is really volatile right now. Okay, so there's something that I do want to point out. There was a gap that wasn't filled, and it's making me a little worried. I noticed there was a gap on the CME. There's a gap on the CME chart. And are we just gonna like leave it there? What's going on with that? Because we had a gap there that was filled. This one just got crushed. They were like, we're gonna liquidate the shorters. And ETH shorters got destroyed as well because people were shorting thinking like, that's going to, like, that was it. That's going to be, you know, a point where we're going to possibly break down into the next lowest. We were thinking like the lowest level that ETH could touch was going to be 3,700. We had it marked here as the range, but the market and the ETH whales were like, nope. And they pushed it. So it went bullish, and it's possible we kind of could go sideways, and then we do one of these moves. It's kind of like you would say an inverse head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, and then we would be eyeing back to the 4,500 level, and that's good. I like this. This is healthy. This is healthy. But then we got things like Super. What the heck? Superverse up 44%. Signaling that we might just get our gaming bull run. And look, I always say that every time we get gaming tokens or gaming bull run stuff, ecosystem stuff, getting traction again, Nakamoto Games always seems to pump along with it. So that's one of those that I found as like a little gem. The one that I probably tested out the most, along with Vulcan Forge, which is the PYR token. That's a big ecosystem of a bunch of nerds building their own stuff inside that ecosystem. BNB recently, that's also kind of coming back up to try and test into new all-time highs. We'll see what it can do. Crow starting to pick up some steam again. We pumped super hard, you know, on that Trump announcement, the Treasury, you know, all of that incorporation with Trump media, and Crow just kind of like being bullish on America, even though they are primarily based out of Singapore, I believe. And so, but I know that if you're looking at Crow in a channel and you look at it on the weekly, it's just kind of respecting the channel. It's trading, bouncing. If anything, we could touch this band again right here. But if ETH is a signal that we're just going to continue up with the momentum, then things like Crow and other tokens that are going to be backed, that are a part of the ETH ecosystem. And when the ETH goes up, we get things like Crow going up. Then we're just going to hold. You know, we're just going to continue to hold strong and just like consider taking profits whenever we start getting back to like all-time highs, like true all-time highs, which were a lot of them, and a lot of these altcoins were from November 2021. So if any of your altcoins have been very close and just at least trading with momentum and strength, and you got a solid bag, you could feel good about it. But yes, if you do have coins and you're holding stuff and it's just been like perpetually down, you might want to reassess. Not saying like you just give up on everything, because hey, you might be just sitting on a gold mine and then, you know, you sold out too early and it pumps, because it's usually kind of what happens. You end up selling out of this thing that's not performing well, and then when you sell out of it, or you swap into the one thing that's performing well now, which you could say you could get that feeling. I talked about it, how ticker Bitcoin was going up, and I was like tempted to be like, I'm just gonna swap some of my XYO to ticker Bitcoin. And then in my mind, as I thought about that, I was like, dude, that's so stupid. Like that never works. You need to you're fine. Continue holding. You're okay. There's absolutely no reason and really no signal besides you just being a pansy to try and justify that. So, and you still don't have enough, so it wouldn't even make any sense. So that's how I had to have that mental talk with myself and just be like, wow, you just need to be more patient. Just be more patient. And be proud that ticker Bitcoin pumped, and still not take profits on that pump, because that's still in my mind nothing. I'm like, cool, 60%, yeah, that's great. I'm not selling, you know. But yeah, good morning everyone. Good morning Headband. Good morning Julie. Good morning Steve Hickey. Thanks for you guys coming in. We're starting. Is it Monday? I guess it is Monday, right? We're starting the week off. We're starting the week off strong. The YouTube is a little it's a little dry right now, but we got the crew in here. We got Don Cabrera in the house. He was the first one in, so he gets cool points. Okay, let's continue to analyze what's happening with the. Oh, okay, we hit the stop loss. All right, we hit the stop loss, but it was a stop loss in profit. So what's crazy is that we probably would have already passed this prop fund if we would have just left the trades like open, like to not take stop losses, or we had take profits in Bitcoin, and we weren't expecting it to rip through 113. We thought we were going to see resistance right here, and it just ripped. Well, let me show you though. We actually did have resistance, but it didn't last very long. I mean, it was like only for just like 10 minutes, and then it shot right up to 114. So I actually would have crossed right past that level. Interesting enough. Yeah, let me check something. Because what if maybe I did pass it? Or maybe I got close. Give me just a second, guys. Do. Oh man, I was so close. Oh, that is a little frustrating, because with all of that market movements, and it was right there. And so this is what is interesting about this is why you break your rules. This is why you break your rules because this is why. Because you'll justify why you shouldn't follow them, like I am right now. But it's that discipline that you can build in your trading strategy what will end up working over time. Man, it's tricky. That's why 95% of traders lose. And the 5% are the ones that what I just talked about master it. They just master it, and they just become so regimented, so on in their edge that they found, and they just make sure that they just never waver. And you almost have to turn into a robot to be able to get to that point. All right, so now we're gonna have to choose our moves wisely with how we're gonna enter back into the market, because we're very close. I mean, all it'll take is one trade now at this point. See, we were trading Fartcoin, Doge, Bitcoin, but now we have to make a choice, and we have to say, okay, what like we're just going to choose one coin, and figure out which one is going to be the strongest. And this is what we're going to do. We should only need to use a pretty, just a very small amount of margin to be able to make that move. But yeah, just checking in with you guys. How are you doing? How's everyone doing? Are you doing okay? I hope everyone's weekend was was good. I hope you got some things accomplished. I definitely had a busy weekend. We do in locally in my town. We've over the years have built up a lot of festivals and things like that. So we do a lot of local local acts and big acts, and it's all combined, and it's just kind of like a big festival. So I was running a lot of sound for that, and then I've played some gigs myself. So yeah, a lot of action in the sound world and audio engineering and music. So I'm very grateful that there's September sometimes being one of the slower months actually ends up being a busy month where I'm at. So I'm very grateful. So, yeah, so hope you guys have been getting some work as well. Hope you've been, hopefully with your stuff that you're working on and any side projects that you can continue to get closer and closer to finishing things. Yeah, just I want you guys to succeed. Like we want you to make money. We want you to make money. We really do. We wish that on all you guys, like whatever your bags are, because you're probably holding different stuff than I am. We might actually be holding similar things. And, I'm rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for you, your thesis, your whatever's making you hold. Like, I am rooting for you. I want you to succeed. And I think that's the best way to be. Like, sometimes we joke and we make tongue-in-cheek jokes about Cardano, holders or whatever and stuff like that. So, I mean, we joke more about ourselves being ridiculous holders of certain ecosystems. I mean, for instance, like Pulse Chain, like you hold any, you even have $1 in Pulse Chain. People are like putting a clown nose on you. But I still have fun. For me, like, I have my reasons. Like, I think Pulse Chain is a great place to go in and do some DeFi. I like PulseX. Like, I think PulseX as a DEX is very just simple, just straightforward. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes I think these DEXs, there's just too much going on. So it's like it could can be a little confusing. This is just like, and I know sometimes some people would think like, oh, this is so old, so outdated, but it's just like, it's simple. You don't really need like a lot of stuff. You just got your basic farms here to stake your LP tokens, and you learn real easy how to add LP. You just click on the farm, add LP. It brings you to the contract pair. You can see how to then add liquidity on, then it puts you to the page where you add liquidity. Then you're sent LP tokens. And then what you can do is then use those LP tokens to then earn the yield from providing liquidity for people that are trading in the pair of USDT to Ethereum or to Pulse Chain, USDT to Pulse, or Hex Pulse, or Incentive Pulse, or whatever. So it's like for people that just want to like go in and just kind of test out stuff and be like, all right, let me just like bridge over a little bit. Let me bridge over some capital, get some things going farming, buy the core tokens, and just test it out. The people that talk a bunch of shit about Pulse Chain and Richard Hart have not used Pulse Chain a single time. And so all they do is they run their mouth and they don't actually test it. And they just say, oh, well, the price is down. It's shitty. All the Pulsicans and Hexicans, you sacrificed your money and you got rugged. They might be right. But we don't know yet. We don't really know yet. The market hasn't topped. And so there's still going to be unicorns that will emerge out of all of the euphoria and FOMOs and things like that. And so I think Pulse Chain, out of a lot of stuff, has the biggest chance to become a unicorn out of the out of all the confusion and the noise and all those things. Because that's a lot of that you have to ignore, you know. You just have to believe. And it is a believer cycle. It's more of a believer cycle. You know, no retail even believes in crypto at all. They mostly kind of scoff and laugh if you even mention it. And they're just not really focused on it. But all the while, like, we have like every single institution basically feeling like they are like really behind if they're not like having meetings in the board about getting into crypto. So all these big companies, it is like one of their top priority list is to not be behind and know the lingo and know how to start to like talk about their shares being converted into a tokenized version and then being able to I guarantee you that is what is happening in all these meetings and boardrooms right now. They're just like, how do we survive and be relevant? Because things are moving so fast that, you know, it's just, this is why I'm so confident to be in crypto, talking about it, trying to build brands, build relationships, get to know these companies, show them that, you know, I know what I'm talking about. I've been looking at this stuff for years. Even just having the bullishness and the awareness of this stuff is already getting me ahead and you guys ahead to be able to leverage this stuff to make a living and to be able to be relevant, because that is what is going to help us continue to build ourselves up to the highest version, so we can take care of our families, we can take care of people who need help. And this is ultimately, I think, the freedom and the liberty and the decentralized nature of crypto is what should make you so freaking hyped and psyched and bullish and on fire to be able to do what we're doing right now. Because we didn't have this like back then. Like back then, it was just more like pretty much a blueprint cookie cutter. Like you go to college, you invest in a college, so then you can add hopes to get a lasting career that will eventually retire you and your family. You can take care of your family and you're not in massive debt. And that's not the case anymore. Now we know college, for the most part, is a scam unless you're going to very specific, you know, niche and very useful programs, which are like doctors and people who are like being a firefighter, anything that takes like you gotta be a professional. So of course you need to go to college. You need to pay money and to be taught to do these really hard jobs. And so that's like no doubt about it. Like you need to go to school. So that's also just a fact. But there's all these degrees that people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for that now they can't even get a job in that field. And the banking system and the Freddie Mae and the Fannie Mac and all these federal subsidized loans, we all got freaking cooked by the interest. And now hundreds and thousands of people are in massive college debt and they can't even freaking get a job in the field that they just went in massive debt in, and now they're in debt slavery and they're a pawn in the system. So it's like, woo! So you have to buy Dogecoin. You have to buy Dogecoin. You gotta have baskets of digital assets, my friends. Not crazy to think that. You know, it's not crazy to think that. All right, we got a nice number. I like the lucky 7 number. 7 and 7. We have 7 likes and 7 people watching on YouTube. It's a little bit crickets. It's kind of crickets today. I don't know what's going on. I get it. You guys have to go back to work on Monday. I know you can't just sit around and listen to crypto content all day. I get it. I know. We're the only degenerates here that I guess are can just consistently come here and find things to talk about, and you know. All right, so this is the quant update. It was basically saying, look, crypto dip signals October gains. We have the DXY is weakening. We said risk on is reloading. John 3:16 saying smash that like button. I 100% agree. All right, so key thesis to focus on is buy the fear now and sell the greed that happens in quarter 4, because we've mentioned and we've showed you a pretty key Bitcoin chart too. Is it was this one. I'm going to show you on the daily. This is where we start to get into tendies mode. Here's where we thought we were going to get max pain, but we saw a pattern forming, which is a double bottom. Double bottoms happen when a coin or an asset, it doesn't matter what it's just an asset. If it's trading in this pattern, it's Y coughing. And so it's gonna hit up to the resistance through line, which is 120. It's eyeing that right now, and it's a perfect launch pad for this week with all the things that are coming up. We got more data that's coming out. I don't remember specifically what it is. I don't care. All I know is that risk is on, and we just don't need to be high super leveraged, and we just need to be accumulating. And we need to just ignore all of the noise of people trying to call tops and all that stuff. Because if we just look, that global liquidity is following a lagged trend right now. And because the market has been extended out from a point here and has been stretched like this, because it's timed for everything geopolitically that was happening around the world and global liquidity, all the things with Trump and the assassination things and assassins. So, you're not supposed to say that word in YouTube, or they really won't put people in your live stream. But look, you gotta take that into account, that this is why we've had this market the way that it is. It's stretched, super stretched. Because if you look at this, look at the gaps between the pumps from last halving cycles. They're so small. But look at look at this one. This one was even irregular because it had a pump in the gap in the middle here. And then we had the euphoric banana zone, more liquidity kind of coming in. But look at this, from here to here, it's like super stretched. So that correlates with why we are going to want to be patient. Be patient. So there's BTC ETH for core stability, so 70% allocation, and then Sol XRP for alt beta 20%, and meme DeFi wildcard 10%. Talking about kind of allocations if you're wanting to play it like how most seasoned crypto people that have been through the cycles, they most of the time have a strong 70% to 80, almost 80% allocation to BTC and the blue chips. And then they have 20% or 10% in other speculative altcoins and super risky plays. The targets for BTC is between 120 and 200K by year end. Alts 2 to 5x if dominance drops below 55%. And then the risk is macro flush to 100K, which is the max pain level that we're looking at. BTC on shutdown on drama, which is supposed to happen October 1st. We're supposed to have a government shutdown October 1st. But it's a dip buying opportunity. Oh, and there's some big news right now, and I think XRP people are just like being like, "What? We've been told for years that that XRP was going to take over the Swift banking system, and I think XRP people are they're running towards Brad Garlic Breath and Chris Mouth Larsinger, and they're like, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you because." You guys, the XRP people, And XRP themselves and Ripple, they're like, yeah, we're taking over the banking system. We have all these contracts. And then it comes out that Swift is going to be just working with consensus. And they're using Linnea. I find that hilarious. And people have been fudding Ethereum, saying it's a dead blockchain and no one's going to use it, and it's like blah, 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 blah. And I've just been seeing it a different way. I've been seeing it like I've been testing out Linnea and testing out the debit card. I've been watching what MetaMask is doing while everyone's like making fun of them and saying you shouldn't use the wallet. I'm feeling like I might get airdropped like actually like tens of thousands of dollars because I've used it for freaking 3 years. Yeah, I feel like I'm tipped on to the right area instead of like holding on to this XRP hope. But XRP still will go to $5 just based on altcoin bullishness alone. But I don't think it's going to be guaranteed that like XRP is now going to be working with Swift. Maybe, but I mean, I don't know. This is pretty freaking crazy. No one was expecting that. Look, I mean, just in, Swift is building a blockchain ledger with 30 plus banks using consensus with Linnea. Crazy. All right, so I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is really funny. It might be one of the funnier videos I've ever made. It's explaining to my wife the I don't know if you guys do this, but I try and explain to but she understands, but this is great.
So babe, so listen, so the ETH, are you listening?
Yes.
Okay, so the Ethereum legacy memes, the people that were, there's one called SPX 6900, okay? And it's a play off the stock market. No, listen. Okay, no, listen. Listen. So SPX 6900 was supposed to flip the stock market. So the whales were accumulating SPX 6900. They ran it to 2 billion. Now they're selling it and they're buying ticker Bitcoin. And they're buying Pepe, they're buying Wojak. Do you understand?
Holiday wreath. Look how cute that is. That's another idea for your front door. It's $34.99 and 133254.
And I love that Gary Cardone had to mention it too. He said, this cannot be true, not possible. I've been told for years that XRP has Swift all tied up, locked down, integrated, along with 300 other legacy fintechs and banking heavyweights. It's funny. I commented on this and no one pays attention to me. I said, this is interesting development. I said, they're using Linnea for their stable coin and also for their debit card. And, that's why I've always had this irking feeling about XRP that it's just it's a means to siphon money out of the market to prop up their own like fund and blockchain and have retail believe that XRP would go to $1,000. It's like the next Bitcoin, but really they're just propping up their own token because it's just kind of seems that is the theory that why some people don't like XRP, and there's the whole kind of split crowd because they don't trust the CEOs, they don't trust those people, they don't trust the people that have big massive allocations of it, the whole escrow lockup crap. Yeah. Because what's going to happen when ETH goes to 10K and XRP, retail got convinced that they should have bought XRP at $3. I get it that yes, retail could have bought XRP at 30 cents or 40 cents, but that was a big risk to take with massive uncertainty. It wasn't guaranteed that XRP was just going to pump 600, 700%. It's the same risk, so it's and then ultimately what that pump just really does is it gets retail to then ultimately buy what could be a quote XRP top while the market share just goes to ETH. While the timeline was telling you need to be bearish ETH and sell it all. So it's really, that's why investing gets dicey and there's a lot of noise. And you could maybe just say, hey, I'll give you one better. How about this? I'm going to own XRP and Ethereum, and all you guys can take a hike. You know, that's what you can say as well. Because you don't have to be an evangelist maxi for one particular thing. And that's kind of how I've operated. So, you know, it's like, look, if I get solid, you know, evidence that I should, you know, trust XRP, then, you know, maybe I'll hold a bag, but I don't know. I'm just more bullish on other things. I'm bullish. I mean, come on. I found ticker Bitcoin. If I'm going to spend any money, I'm going to buy more ticker Bitcoin. Like, I found something that's hilarious. It's got my childhood embedded into it. It's got the feels. It's the funniest meme coin. Nothing can copy it. Like, people try and copy it, and they do a terrible, minuscule job at doing what was already done. So it's like you can't beat that. You can't teach that. It's created by the egregore in the universe. That's just how it works. It's how memes work. You know what's a true meme, and you can't fake it. And you know when it's being faked and it's not genuine, and when things are forced. And you can't force ticker Bitcoin. It's just the best way that I could put it. You can't force something like that. It's unforceable. Man, you guys are sleeping. I think you guys are sleeping today. You guys are sleeping in. Sleeping in today on a Monday. This chat is like a ghost town. This chat's like a ghost town. Gotta give me some action, guys. Give me some emojis. Something. Let's wake this bee up. There we go. All right. Now we got some action. Okay. All right, Eric Espacino's here. There we go. We got Don. All right. Come on. I want you guys. Give me the juice. Give me the juice. You guys probably know what's happening more than me. Let's actually. I've been curious to follow the perp dex volume to see how it's been fluctuating. And yo, oh my gosh, they're really starting to get. I knew it. Apex is pumping it. They're just Bybit's gonna just be dumping money into Apex protocol. So that's super cool. And I have a link in the description, by the way, if you guys want to test it out. I actually really like it. Like, I've pulled up the other platforms, and Apex, I actually was testing it before everyone was freaking out about perpetual perps, because I'd like to test all kinds of stuff. Like, and actually what led me to it was myself, but then I saw Crypto Zombie. If you guys know who Crypto Zombie is, he's mainly just talks about Bitcoin, but he actually was using Apex, and I was like, oh, he's using it. Okay. He was testing it out. So it gave me a little bit more confidence to kind of go in, dive in a little bit and see what it's all about. And they've just been adding stuff over time, kind of a slow build. And they have some AI tools built in, so you can do like an alpha radar. You can set up a trading vault where other people can basically join the vault, and you can trade. And it's basically like a copy trading vault. And there's some cool stuff on there. You can earn experience points. I'm sure all these other platforms have their shtick and their thing too. So yeah, more than welcome to test those and see if you like those. But if you want to test out Apex and get one that's kind of like down the list, so you're kind of getting in early, I think this is probably the best place. And then Jupiter too. So I'm not going to get, Jupiter is also, I think they're going to ante up and they're going to add more coins, because right now you can only perp 3 contracts. You can do Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. and you can use couple different collaterals. You can use your actual Bitcoin, you can use ETH, you can use Sol, and you can use stables, and you can also get paid out in those as well. But there's not like Apex you can trade. It's not, but Apex has a small list. It's not like you can trade everything, but you can trade the main high volume. So mostly Apex is going to have tokens that have good trading volume. For instance, like on the perps, you can, sorry, I have so many tabs open, so it's probably not liking this right now. Check my recent post. Actually, don't. It's got swear words in it. I know. I've been slipping up recently too because I've been getting a little too heated on the live stream, talking about certain things, and I just kind of let loose. What the heck? Yeah, this is taking forever to load. I don't know what's going on. Oh, I just have way too many things up on my computer. That would probably do it. Yeah, let's quit Discord and let's like clean up some CPU. All right, that might help. There we go. All right, there we go. Okay, so we've pulled this up before on the live stream, and this is Apex OMNI. So Apex OMNI is the trading platform where it has basically everything that you can view as your account on the Apex protocol. So what it does is you are using your wallet, you're using your wallet to be able to, and you're using these networks. So it uses Arbitrum, Base, BNB, Ethereum, and Mantle. And so by using those networks, it's going to access your balances. You'll be able to deposit ETH, you can deposit the stables. And what it does is you can then, once you deposit them, it deposits it through a transaction on the blockchain into your OMNI account. It's represented in your portfolio, and then you can use that to spot buy stuff. You can hold stuff spot on the protocol. And then you could also trade perps with using your collateral, and then they're gonna offer you leverage, which is a contract. So if you are going long, they're gonna give you a 13x leveraged borrowed position, but you're also going to be 13x on the other side of whatever the trade is going to be. So most of you know this, but it operates just like a centralized exchange, but everything is a decentralized nature of the order book. You're not like setting up an account like you normally would on a centralized exchange. You're just using your wallet. And so that is how it works. But before you do this, though, you do want to sign up with my link, because you're going to get a trading bonus. If you sign up with my link and you deposit 100, you're going to get $20 extra. And then also I have it set up too, where with my link, any of the trades and commission that I make, you get a percentage of. So I've set it to where you'll get 5% of any of the commission share. You're going to get 5%. So, but let's look at the tokens. High volume tokens, high trading volume tokens. So obviously like Doge and Link, Pepe, Stellar Lumens, ETH, BTC. It's got Aave, Ondo, Hype, Litecoin, Sol, Aster. And here's the list. There's some meme coins on there too. There's a lot of memes. But it's got pretty decent list of tokens. It's got your usual suspects, a lot of new ones. Oh, look, and it's got Linnea here. And look at all this stuff with Linnea. And look at Linnea right here, just like completely. It's just what a great time. I feel like what a great time to be like paying attention to this while people were like, what the heck is Linnea anyway? I've been seeing this on my MetaMask for years. Why should I even care? And then you think Jupiter's going to sit on the sidelines while everyone's been talking about decentralized perps and all that, and they're not going to incentivize people to use it by saying, hey, we're going to airdrop you thousands of dollars if you just use Jupiter again? You'd be sadly mistaken, my friends. So this is why I don't want to focus too much on the one that's getting the most market share right now, which is Aster, Hyperliquid. And yes, they're doing airdrops as well. But if you pay attention to the ones that are under it, you don't think they're going to ante up and try and just like get that market share too. That's just kind of where my mind is. And it's not that you're just like, oh, well, you just want to bet on the winners, but also you want to bet on the fact that people are going to be competing, and also that Bybit has just as much cash, and Solana has a lot of cash too, and Jupiter does as well. So they could be pushing a lot of volume on some of these things and incentivizing for their airdrops as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I like the platform. I like the setup. It's nice. I like the feel of it. It feels good. This, I'll show you the AI thing. Like this is the alpha radar. Kind of shows you what's trending, what overall people are focusing on in terms of kind of what's in the radar to start to look at. So SHIB is on the radar, Linnea, TON. We have Chainlink, Kyoto, or Kaito, HBAR, Mira, and Aster. So that's kind of what's on the alpha radar right now. And then as you go in and click on it, it actually gives you the info of the token. You could get you the bubble maps and the deck screener so you can see the insights. So stuff like this is really cool. I think it's really, really awesome features. And it's also, look at these networks that they're using, okay? And look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 networks, and 4 out of these 5 networks have a token. Mantle has a token. Ethereum obviously has a token. Binance Smart Chain has BNB, and then Arbitrum has a token. Base Chain is the only one that doesn't have a token. But you see, these are things that you could also just naturally be bullish on because like the biggest decentralized exchanges in the world are using these to run millions and millions of dollars through. So it can get you feeling pretty bullish. All right, so have we had enough of a consolidation now to get back into a trade? Because we want to pass this evaluation, but we don't want to pull the trigger too fast because we knew that pump was going to either give it to us, and then we'll get some resistance. But yeah, we're going to have to see what happens with that. But thank you guys for tuning in today. I don't think there's anything else we need to cover. I think that's pretty much it. Real quick, let's go through the bookmarks. We bookmarked a couple of things. Yeah, we mentioned the Swift building blockchain ledger. Using consensus, aka Linnea. And then, oh, this is interesting. Yeah, we bookmarked this. Solana just onboarded 2.9 million users in Bolivia through the Viva mobile carrier. So the Viva mobile carrier integration means users can send remittances for literally 0.00025 in transaction fee instead of the Western Union's 12% fee. Yeah, so you guys still, I don't know if you know this, but like a lot of people still use Western Union and these old rails to send money to family members, and they don't know that they can freaking use blockchain and because most people have a smartphone. And it's not just an iPhone. I mean, Android phones, like any of these phones, you can freaking send money like in seconds using these rails. And it will freaking revolutionize the entire world once really people start to tap onto this. Because people just sometimes just set in their ways and they're just used to doing stuff for a while until it just gets completely obsolete and it's not used anymore. It's just like dinosaur that people would ever use Western Union. And we see Western Union like end up going belly up, or they just go bankrupt because no one's going to use them anymore. Or Western Union literally turns full crypto blockchain and they make a Western Union blockchain and it's going to be called WU. There's that, they might end up making their own blockchain so then people can use their blockchain to send fees through. So then they can still continue to generate fees. But this is what's going to happen. So it's crazy. So 67% of Bolivia is unbanked, but everyone has a phone. So it's capturing actual economic activity through mobile carriers, not waiting for ETF approvals. So that's pretty crazy. So yeah, thanks AI XBT. All right, what's some other news? I think that's it. I think that's about it. Okay, so Marty Party did give the week ahead though. A lot of stuff happening. Yeah, so Monday, SEC and CFTC roundtable. Trump meeting Congress as U.S. shutdown nears. Swift's, yep. So we got the Swift's Chainlink digital assets lead consensus. U.S. fiscal year ends on Tuesday. FTX. Oh yeah. So tomorrow there's a 1.6 FTX distribution to the creditors. Let's see what else. Strategies preferred stocks to pay cash dividend. Wednesday, ISM manufacturing data. So the PMI data. And Wednesday is the first. Government will shut down if Congress cannot reach a funding agreement before 11:59. Potential shutdown could delay government data, including at NFP, 180 days, not official, but deadline for the order that called Bessent and Lutnick to find budget-neutral strategies for acquiring BTC. Also, in response to a request filed by the Rage, U.S. Treasuries disclosed that it has still not received reports on agency authorities to transfer assets to digital asset stockpile, aka no significant progress on strategic reserve just yet. And, this is crazy. U.S. Senate Banking Committee to hold a crypto tax hearing. VP of Tax at Coinbase to testify. Woo! That might be one of the biggest unicorn, swan events that we have for our bull run, is that the U.S. government announces that there's going to be no tax on crypto at up to provisional. I'm sure it's going to be provisional where, they do a no tax on crypto as per amount. So if you're making millions of dollars in crypto, they're not going to be like, yeah, we're not taxing you. No, your ass is going to get taxed. But they're probably going to make it to where if you made under a certain amount, you can just your tax rate's almost to next to none. And then they'll most likely have it to where, if you're freaking making bank, you're going to get taxed. But they might make an incentive to where it's if you hold it for a certain amount of years, then you only get taxed this much. Or if you sell it too early, maybe it's only a 15% tax instead of it being a 20 or 25. Something like that. So we'll see what the tax position will be. Be dope if they just say zero tax, move to America, wave the flag, let's go. Run it up, send it, and then we can be popping champagne bottles at that point. Let's see. Token 2049, OKX main. Let's see. Robinhood CEO, the main stage, Jesse Pollock, Charles Hoskinson. These are all the people that are going to be talking at Token 2049. We got Tether, ETH's Next Frontier, Justin Sun's going to be talking. Then we have a Bing X stage is going to be all DPEN. So I bet XYO is going to be there for sure. Let's see. And then Friday is going to be U.S. non-farm payrolls be expected to add a net 50,000 jobs. Swift to launch blockchain with 30 banks. The first prototype on real-time 24-hour cross-border payments, and they're using Linea. Dang. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of stuff. So this is kind of the week ahead. I think I reposted this. I also bookmarked it. So if you wanna just keep this on the radar for what's to come. That will be adding to the volatility of the markets here. But man, we should have already passed this. We should have already passed this thing. We were probably right there. We were probably literally on the freaking money. But we were in a meeting. You can't always have your face in the charts. I had other business to attend to, and that business that I attended to and what I'm doing is going to facilitate better relationships and also more money. So either way, all of this is working towards, more abundance is how I'm going to view it. Nice positive way to look at it. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I don't know. Is there anything else we want to cover? I was going to go ahead and end it. I don't want to, spread butter over too much bread here. I think that's it. Crypto's starting to trend back up in terms of worldwide search. Surprisingly, people are starting to search for crypto. They're typing in crypto in the web search in the past week. They're typing in Bitcoin. It's starting to get a little spike, so that's good. Let me move my look. See the spike? Starting to go up a little bit. Interest is starting to get there a little bit, Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I said I was going to. I'm so sorry. When's the migration happening when is the contract migration happening? It's the contract. 7 months. Yes, this is the one. Dude, I mean, that actually happened pretty if I would have put this, I mean, that kind of, I thought it was going to happen here, but it actually happened here. It was a little bit more extended. That's wild. Look at that. It really did do, dang. That was the 24th. Shit. Not bad. Yeah. Nice little 2x there. Yeah, I mean, look, that's like, I said, look, if you just kind of do these moon boy measurements, they sometimes play out. I mean, especially if something is actually bullish and whales are buying it, it has a prospect. It's got some type of event or news building up to it, a calendar event, which is for this thing, it's got a migration. There's really not a lot of holders. So this is kind of like an early slow build. It's risky. It's a super risky play. You just don't know. But that's kind of you're going to have 5% or 10% of your portfolio where you're just kind of hey, put a couple $100 in something like this. You got a soul laying around. You never know, because we've seen things like this that have been under 20 million. And then all of a sudden it goes to $500 million market cap. And then you're just what the heck? And all you needed was one soul in it, and then you're just printing. So the whole base of this is just to have privacy message off the, a type of Z. It's a ZKP, so a ZK privacy true offline currency that they're going to use their token on Solana and run it through probably their app or their protocol to then be able to facilitate this idea that they're doing. But look at that. This moon boy measurement played out pretty well, where it's the same distance of where it had the bearish divergence top here. Usually does about that measurement if you're just going off the trend. You just do a trend and it's okay, have patience, accumulate down to the bottom, try and get low entries, and then you're just, yeah. That played out actually exact. And look, this actually looks exactly like the pump token. The pump token looks just like this right now. I know the pump token was looking like garbage, and everyone's oh, the pump trenches are cooked. All the streamer coins are down 50%. And that's just another layer of FUD that of people that are just like they don't agree with the Solana trench. They don't like pump fun. They don't want to participate in it in that type of way. But I see it in a different way. I see it as, look, it's just rotation. It's going to rotate right back in when pump starts to buy. They're not going to let this thing go into the ground. Are you kidding me? No, I'm talking about no, look, I'm talking about this. Look. Just saying, whenever something's consolidating down, I'm not saying it looks it's doing this similar type of thing where it's consolidating down. How far down will it go? And then eventually it'll run up, and it's probably going to touch up into exactly how money. Look, it had this. You look at this, there's a high, it's going down, and it's most likely going to cross into ascent at some point. That's all I'm saying. But people would more so would like for it to go into the ground and do something like this. They'd be like, let's just kill the trench. But I think they're gonna probably most likely it'll surpass people's expectations. There's 97,000 holders on this token. And why am I showing the pump token and showing this token? Well, guess what? The money token was made on pump fund. The money token was made on pump fund. And bonded and then sent to Radium. No problem, Headband. All right, guys. I think that's about it. That's all we're gonna cover for today. I'll update you guys on where I'm at with the breakout prop evaluation. We're gonna let the market cool off a little bit. That was a mega pump this morning, so I'd imagine right now during lunchtime is when the market's gonna cool off. People are taking profits. They already took profits a little bit at that top, and so now we're gonna have to just see what plays out for the end of the market close. Will we close in the green, close and touch into some other levels? Possible, but look, that was a mega run. I mean, that was a solid run right there. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Make sure you are following these live streams on a daily basis. We go live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we go live on X. We go live on YouTube. We go live on a lot of different platforms. And we appreciate you guys wherever you're watching from. Make sure you're following me on X at Dano Crypto 904. That's where I'm going to post and repost stuff immediately whenever I see fit to do so. Wojak is has his costume, has his Halloween costume. He's gonna go as CZ. Love it. All right, my friends. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later. Peace.